Let's go.
It's another K-Town beat.
YouTube, it's your boy, Mr. Outliner. I'm back. Brand new video. We got the taper, coldest taper fade. No enhancements on this thing, man. You know what I mean? I'm tired of boys talking about, man, you can't do it without enhancements. Cool, whatever. Anyway, we're going to do this on the, he got waves. He care about them, but he don't care about them. So, look. I started them off with the 1.5, right? Now, the 1.5, I started from the back because a lot of people might not understand, how to cut hair against the crown part, right? So you just want to look for the direction of the hair, and if you're not sure, you can use a bigger guard like I'm doing right here. So I use the 1.5. I know that he likes a 1 on top of his hair, but for video purposes, I wanted to show you that you can use a 1.5 until you can see the hair pattern of the hair, right? Like, I know his hair pattern because I cut him all the time, so it's nothing for me. But for video purposes, I'm showing you. If you look close enough, you can see, and you see how I came to the other side, so you can see, and look how I'm coming down at an angle, because that's the way his hair pattern is going, the same way that the waves are going, right? So I come back, now I'm ready to hit him with the 1. So I see the hair pattern really good. I come back, I hit him with the 1 guard. You know what I mean? So with the crown part, the cowlick, I don't know what people call it. Some people like to leave that crown part on the waves a little thicker. They might have left it at a 1.5 and hit everything else on the side and in the front. But for me, I just decided to, hit it all the way around, same length. Sometimes you can do it and it might look bald on some people's head, so you got to be careful of that, right? And once you get it to where you want it to be, then you can start the taper. Once you get the hair down to the level that you want, then you can start to make your guidelines and get your taper in order. Also, in the front of his head, he has a cowlick in the front, so that was another reason. Another thing you can do, you can use a bigger guard in the front until you can see which way the direction of the hair goes. You see me, I'm going to the side, to the left, to the right. You see what I mean? Because if you attack it wrong, it's gonna leave a bald spot. So you have to be careful. And it's okay to leave it a little thicker until you can just, use clipper over comb to kind of make it work if you have to. So just be aware of that, especially people have cowlicks normally in the front and they normally have cowlicks in the back. Now, to the taper. You know how we do. We start the first guideline. We get that first guideline in. We use our wall detailers right here, but you can use whatever trimmer you have. You know I like Wall. You know I'm sponsored by Wall. But even if I wasn't sponsored by Wall, I would be using these trimmers. You know what I mean? It just so happened that I'm sponsored by them. It was like a win-win for me, because I was already using their products before they came and got me, right? So anyway, this is the cordless senior right here. You use that clipper all the way open, and I like to go open to close. If you follow me on some of my other tutorials, my barber tutorials, I go open to close, right? I come back, I use my 1 guard. Now, when you use your 1 guard, you just want to take out that line where I'm focused at. You want to take that line out with the 1 guard, right? You want to blend into that. You want to blend it away, right? And the way you do that is go open to close, right? And I use the corner of the blades a lot. So make sure when you're trying to remove the guideline that's been created, when you're trying to remove that guideline, you have to use the corner of the blade, because if you don't, you will actually create a whole nother guideline. And you don't really want to do that, because If you keep doing that without using the corner of the blade, the fade just keeps going up, and up. And by the time you know it, you got a south side fade, what we call it out here, where he just got a little patch of hair. You know what I mean? But so you got to kind of be careful. You know, I'm in Houston, Texas. If a lot of people always ask, man, where you at? Where you located? I'm in Houston, Texas. You know what I mean? Home of the bald fades, home of the south side fades. So when I was in barber school, we didn't have tapers to learn. So I had to learn that later on after I got out of barber school. Right? So after the one guard, you come back, no guard again, work your way down, open the close, and just use the corner of the blade still and pick your parts where you want to, you know, where you want to make the fade blend in more, where you want to decrease the bulk, with, you know, stretch the skin. Look at my thumb, I'm actually stretching the skin because the closer you get to the bottom, the more flat the blade needs to be on the scalp in order to remove the line. And also I want to say shout out to Antoine from Killeen, Texas. He cuts hair in Killeen, Texas. He drove out, came, picked up some of that MR.OUTLINER detailing mist. You know what I mean? So he been watching it. He wanted to get that, you know, straight from me. So I appreciate the love. You know what I'm saying? Much respect to him. If you don't have the outliner product, then you can go to MR.OUTLINER.com and get your product. I always leave it in the description. Now, once you get done with the taper on this side, you can come back and you can spray them with the detailing mist. But before you do that, you might want to just come back and use clip over comb right here. You see, because I was telling you, he got a cowlick. You see how I'm combing the hair? I'm trying to make it lay down the natural way that it's gonna lay. You know, if I comb it the wrong direction, it won't lay, it won't show me his hairline. You can see everything right there now. And I cleaned it up enough in order to make it lay the way I want it to lay, to where I can get the line. And that's the MR.OUTLINER detailing mist. You can go ahead and spray this side down, because what it does, you want it to dry and you want to comb it in where it's styled. See, especially with something like a cowlick, you want the hair to stay in place just like it is. So when you put the detailing mist, it's going to make the hair stick to that desired style, right? And when you get ready to go in and put that line on them, you don't have to worry about the hair being out of place, and it's going to make the hairline extra crispy. And also, I just came back right here because I felt like the bulk wasn't blended in enough to my liking. So, you know, always go back and check your work. It's okay to do that. Now, when you come to the other side, it's the exact same steps, exact same process. We do nothing no different. So once you get that system, you always know I'm about approach, and then using your system, and then executing your system. You know, it's always ASE with me. If you can remember A as in apple, S as in Sam, E as in elephant, you're gonna always come out with a consistent looking haircut. And that's the main thing that we're trying to do. Now, once you finish fading again, you come back and you hit it with the detail and mist on this side, so you get the same thing. You want it to dry, so and leave it in the desired style to where when you get ready to use your liners and come back, it'll be set up just perfectly for you, right? Now you can turn them to the front to the mirror so you can kind of see, how you need to attack the hairline. If you see his corners are up much higher than the middle of his hairline, so you want to pay attention to that. So I kind of start like right in between the two. I like to get his corners done first. And a lot of times you see me start from the middle, but for him, I know his hair so well, I like to start from the corners because I feel like it gives me the best look. You don't always have to start from the middle when doing a liner. You start from the most comfortable spot for you. But if you want to look at it and just say, hey, you want to start from the middle every time, that's fine too, until you get comfortable. You have to get to a point to where you're comfortable doing the things that you do well. You know what I mean? So for me, I know his head. I might not start another person's hairline this way, but for him, I'm starting it. So I'm starting from the corner and I'm connecting it with the middle, right? So, and you see how the hairline is coming out. No enhancements on this. And you see how good the detailing mist works. And if you got your trimmer set right, everything is going to come together. You see that? You see how sharp and crisp that is. I don't need, enhancements to make a sharp liner. I already know how to do that. There's nothing for me to prove to nobody or nothing, but this is for training purposes. So when somebody get in the comments and say certain things, I really not tripping on it. Like it's not a big deal, but I don't want other people to be misled by the comments that people say sometimes. Sometimes people they say stuff and people run with it behind them because they really don't know. You know what I mean? So the only reason you'll catch me defending something like that is just because I don't want people to be misled, right? So back to the lineup, I do the same thing, but I kind of start from the corner still in a way, but in the middle between the corner and the middle. I started that way, just like I started the other side, because I know that I'm gonna make it connect with the front of it, right? And like I said, when your trimmers are set right, and when you use the detailing mist with it, you get a nice, sharp, crispy liner, right? And that's what you want. When you don't use enhancements, everything else has to be right. You know what I mean? And if you already got all that stuff right, when you use enhancements, it's just icing on the cake. It's just butter, right? And that's why a lot of my haircuts come out looking good, because I already know how to do it. So, I know what I need to be successful in making a nice haircut with a nice hairline. You have to have those things in place in order to be successful with it. You want a nice looking hairline, make sure your trimmers are set right. And if you don't know how to set your trimmers, I got videos on my page that show you how to set your trimmers, right? It just take a little time, a little practice with it, but once you get it down, it's golden. You know what I'm saying? So if you just follow the same steps that I use on prior videos, then it's called how to zero gap wall clippers, or just type in zero gap and I'll pull up, right? So that's what you want. You see that? You see how the line, everything looking, it's coming along good. So for the most part, it's straight. You come back and you just go ahead and, modify everything that you need to just to make it straight, just to get it that look that we looking for, right? So you can achieve any look that you're looking for with a little practice, a little time. Make sure your tools are all the way up to par, right? If you don't follow me on IG, my IG is the same, MR.OUTLINER with the dot on IG. I give barber tips all the time, every week on Tuesdays. You can follow me for that. And you can also see some of my work that I do. Sometimes I post videos on there that I don't post on YouTube because they like little short videos, right? But anyway, you see the line. It's crisp, it's nice. That's all. That's the look that you're looking for. Now I'll show you the back and how I line it up, and then I'll show you the finished product. Yeah, so anyway, this is the back, and I just want to show you how good my trimmers are. And if you follow the steps that I give you on how to set your trimmers, yours will hit like this too. Because a lot of people always say, man, my trimmers don't hit like yours. You see how these things hit, right? And plus I wanted to show you the back of the taper that I already did, just to give you a full effect of the whole haircut. But anyway, if you get your trimmers right, this is the look that you can get. This is what you can achieve. But anyway, if this is your first time to the channel, or if not, it's cool too. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. You know how we do it. I'm gonna be dropping some more videos more often, maybe 2 to 3 times a week, so be on the lookout for that. But anyway, until next time, love, peace, and hair grease. I'm out.